you know, a little bit from the lock sports. I've been kind of working a lot. Some of y'all probably wondered where I've been. I haven't done any more videos in a while. Just been working about 16, 18 hours a day. Haven't really had time to mess around with it, but some of you guys might notice I have some new stuff here. It's just an old dresser, basically. You know, I've been using for a workbench. It's looking pretty raggedy, and I've been thinking about buying a poundo board for a while. For you know, if you have to punch holes in anything or beat on anything, it absorbs the impact or whatever. You use it a lot in leather work, so that when you are tapping the leather tools on the leather with a mallet, it's not, you know, the leather doesn't have a hard backing, so it's less likely to, you know, scar the hard backing or whatever. So what I have here, I have some 1/4 inch thick neoprene. It's reinforced, fiber reinforced in here. This was a tank seal, actually, on a floating roof tank. And I've brought it home, cleaned it up very thoroughly, because I would hate to have any you know, oil byproducts or anything like that, any petroleum byproduct on this in my house. So I did clean it thoroughly. It's been pressure washed and kiln treated and pretty much everything else. So now, you know, I just measured and cut it to size. Very good. You know, I can take these pliers and I ain't got to worry about damaging anything. You might notice I got a new vise. I did invest in a pan of vise. This is the let's see here, what I believe it's 301 model. When you get it with this head and this base, it's considered the 301 model. The head by itself has a different model. The base has a different model number on it, but together it's a 301. And the parts tray base mount is the model 312. This did come with the 3 screws here to mount it to the base, and they also give you extra holes here, as you can see, that are threaded. Let's see, the box may tell us what the threading is, if you'll bear with me. 1/4 by 20. 20 thread count, I guess, per inch. And so I've actually, they sell accessories for this base for various different crafts. One in particular is for soldering. You can actually screw on, it's a little curly spring and like a loop, and you put your hot soldering iron in it, and then you have your pads, your sponges. You soak those sponges, get them damp, and you clean your soldering tip on it, and that's how you keep your soldering tip clean. So what I've done is I found a screw that fit through the bottom. I threaded it in the bottom, and I found this in a refinery, you know, some years back. I keep junk, man. You know, one man's junk is my treasure, so I just keep things. And what I've done is I've bandsawed it down and cut a little cross in it a while back for a different project. I was going to, you know, actually make like some sort of makeshift spearhead out of this. But what I've decided to do is turn that into a bendy tool. And so you just take your windshield wiper insert, slide it into these, I'm kind of doing this through the camera. You slide it into there, and then you will just bend it around. And it works pretty good when I have an extra hand to hold the vise. Let's see. And there you can see, probably not very straight, but I can make it straighter than that when I do it with 2 hands. But anyway, so I added a bendy tool to mine, and added another little tool, another little piece over here for something else I was working on. Trying to make a mount for another tool here. But you know, you can customize your tools any which way you want. Personally, I love this vise. This is excellent. And let's see if I can find it. I believe it's on the other box. Let's see. Let's throw that down. So, as you can see, you know, you can order various different kinds of heads for this. I have a pamphlet somewhere, but anyway, you can get the head like the new one Bosnian Bill has, and you can get the junior model. You can get various different heads. I like this vise because it's versatile. you can loosen this off. I'm probably about to dump my lock out of here, but it's one screw operation. To loosen that screw off, I can take this head out, put a new one in. You can tilt it down, up, tilt it around, and the whole entire vise itself will also rotate. Pretty good vise, I love it. Something else I love about this vise is I've bought various vices over the years, and really, to get a vise that you can actually find parts for, you're usually looking at spending a lot of money, you know, at least several $100s or more. This vise was like $32 on Amazon. I bought the trade base for an extra, I think like $25 or $22 or $23. So, you know, less than 60 bucks for the whole thing. I love it because you can change these jaws out. These jaws are easily changed. You just pull this, you unlock it, you pull this all the way out, and just 2 screws on each jaw. And so what I like about it is you can actually make your own jaws. And what I'm working on here, I have this piece of Teflon. It was a round bar that was split in half. It was just round Teflon round stock. It was split in half, and this was used on some pipe supports out in a tank farm. I was building pipe supports, and we had some small scrap pieces, so I just grabbed them because, like I said, I collect, you know, everybody's junk and turn it into everything else. So what I'm going to do with this is make a custom set of jaws that would go on here, and I'm actually going to notch them out to hold key and knob cylinders, because these are usually kind of finicky. You know, you have to wrap leather around them and whatnot. You don't want to crush it because then you can't pick it and the key won't operate the lock. So I'm going to make a special jaw attachment to where I can just put these jaws on. I'll make a notch for, you know, doing mortise cylinders. It'll have a flat enough spot where I can do padlocks, and I'll also have that groove for the key and knobs. So hopefully this idea will work out. Kind of liking my new setup. This neoprene's easy to clean. Just wipe it with a rag. You don't have to worry about it. I can set a drink on it, and don't have to worry about it, you know, messing up the tabletop, which I'm going to have to refinish soon. I did get a digital caliper. Some of you guys are going to laugh because, yes, I bought the Pittsburgh brand from Harbor Freight, but I'm going to tell you I've tested this caliper on various known thicknesses of metals. I have a filler gauge set, and I've actually tested this on my filler gauge set, and it does work flawless. It doesn't go down to very minute, but it will do into the 20 thousandths, and that's pretty much all I need. You know, if I can get I can measure 50 thousandths with it on down to like 1,000th, so it's good enough for what I need. I guess if you're an aerospace engineer, you'd probably want to go spend some money and buy you a really nice, you know, $500, $600 caliper. But this works for me. It'll do inches, millimeters, and fractions also. So it's actually pretty accurate, man. Peterson's picks, it does those just fine. The filler gauges, it matched up with my filler gauge set. So it's actually, all in all, it's really not bad for 20 bucks, man. And it's only 20 bucks. You know, if I need to use this as a weapon and maybe jab somebody in the eye with it and break it, it's, you know, it's okay. I'm only out 20 bucks. No big deal. So all in all, that's a pretty good caliper for what it's, you know, the cost of it. Comes in a nice little case, gives you an extra battery. Not a bad deal, man. So this is just what I've been up to, guys. I've been trying to get my little setup going. Working on investing some money and maybe a camera and a tripod so that I can do some better quality videos. Also, I've been working on picks. Here I have a beautiful little Bogota, and this is actually a correct Bogota. I'd sent Jeff some that I made, but I've never owned a real Bogota to use as a template. So here's one that I made early on, and I do love this pick. It works great. It works excellent on padlocks. For some reason, this is a padlock cracking machine right here. I even have this Corbin Rustwin Euro cylinder that I got from TexasJim, and this thing's full of nasty pins and pretty high security pins, but the bitting of it is I don't know if I can get this out. I'm trying to hold this with my hand. Alright, so I'll show you all the bitting of the key, and I actually was able to rake that out with this, believe it or not, even though it's full of security pins. But anyway, so just kind of making me some picks, you know, just little projects I can do in between my first job and my second job. You know, I only have a couple hours, you know, on in between each shift that I can play around and do anything. So trying to pick high security locks and get them on film in 2 hours is, you know, when I still need to take a shower in between and whatnot, is just kind of hard. Just don't really have enough time to manage right now. So, but this is what I've been up to, guys. Just trying to get my little area going. Got me a new vise, some calipers, working on collecting some tools, and I'm going to be looking at a camera soon. I have to be able to justify the expense. I'd have to do something for the old lady before she'll let me spend that kind of money on me. You guys know how that is if you have a woman. If not, be glad, be thankful. But anyways, guys, that's what I've been up to. Just trying to make it all happen, man. Hopefully soon I'll be able to make some higher quality videos. I am going to work on getting some better lighting in here. The lighting sucks. Right now I'm running a energy efficient bulb overhead, and then I have this crappy lamp that's 40 watts, but man, it puts out about 19,000 BTUs of heat. My left side's actually freezing right now, and my right side is sweaty. So, but anyways, guys, that's what I've been working on, just trying to get it all squared away. I did make me a custom this is an old electrical panel. My cousin had a problem with electrical panel we installed a few years back, about 8 years ago. The weatherhead cap, I actually ran conduit up through the bottom of it. We ran conduit to the pole, but the weatherhead cap, it's like a plug. If you're not using the weatherhead, it leaked, and the whole inside of his box, all the components inside corroded and was causing breakers to go bad. So we bought a new box, gutted it, took all the guts out of the new box, put it in his old box, since it was impossible to remove the old box since I was the one that put it in. It was very secure and it wasn't gonna come out. So I did kind of turn this into like a little, you know, like a locker sort of, and I can push this up if I had a spare hand. But anyways, you could push it up and you could actually put a padlock on there. I mean, of course, a pair of pliers would probably break that tab off, but oh well. Just some of the locks I've been collecting from Jeff Moss and various other places. One of these days I'm gonna start giving some of these away. I do have a few of them that I haven't got on film. I just haven't really had time, and hopefully I can get around to picking some of these on camera for y'all. Some master locks I've been collecting from all over the place, and every time I see a master lock I want to go pick it, and then people are usually like, oh my god, I'm gonna go buy a new lock, and they end up giving me the old crappy master lock they had. But anyway, I just figured it was a neat little way to store my locks. I do have a thread, a tap and die set. I want to do some more to this box. I want to put a few shelves in for like my mortise cylinders and rim cylinders, put a couple shelves for those, and then I want to put rows of screws, that way I can hang all my padlocks and whatnot. But eventually I'll get that going. Really, I just don't like buying anything, man. I'm cheap. I'm just gonna tell you straight up, I'm a tightwad. So usually I like to build things myself. Especially because when I build it, I know I'm getting a quality item. I know it's not going to break or fall apart on me. Nothing I hate worse than spending 50 or 60 bucks on crap and it just falls apart. And I kind of find out it was made in China anyway, so it just irritates me. I'd rather build it myself and know it's going to be there forever. So I'm just waiting until I find the right materials. I'll come across them one day, the materials I need to finish that and finish some other stuff. But in the meantime, I'm saving up for a camera, and I'd like to try to find a decent one. If any of you guys have suggestions on a camera, let me know. I don't have a big budget, can't afford any, professional equipment or anything like that. My budget would probably be about $200 or $300, if that. So if y'all know where I can get a high definition camcorder or a camera that records video and has decent audio with it, let me know. Drop a link in the comments below or something, and I'll go check it out. But anyways, guys, that's what I've been up to. Hope y'all stay safe, stay legal, man.